Well, yeah, we got some serious Maximum Overdrive business to deal with here.
Oh, yeah.
Maximum Overdrive!
Yes!
All right, well, welcome back. So the first movie we picked today is one of my favorites from childhood because it's, I guess you could say it's so bad it's good.
Oh, ich bin gespannt.
Because it's definitely not good. And the first movie is...
Oh, wow. Maximum Overdrive, mein Lieblingsfilm.
Really?
No.
Oh. Not her favorite. Okay.
Okay.
This is, we'll read a little bit about what the movie's about.
Okay, ich fange an mit dem Start. Get ready for the ultimate battle of man versus bloodthirsty machine in this terrifying Stephen King classic. Es ist Stephen King, unglaublich. Es muss genial sein.
Exactly.
For 3 horrifying days, the Earth passes through the tail of a mysterious comet. The skies glow in an eerie green as humanity waits to see what the fallout will be. But what they imagine is nothing like the nightmare they find. The comet's magnetic fields cause all the machines on Earth to suddenly come to life and terrorize their human creators in a horrific killing spree. Now it's up to a small group of people trapped in a desolate truck stop to defeat the killer machines or be killed by them.
Doesn't it sound incredibly exciting?
Unglaublich.
This is the first and only movie written and directed by Stephen King. And it shows it's a coke-thrilled just excitement. You cannot get this much excitement unless you are incredibly high on coke. You probably can't enjoy the movie unless you're incredibly high on coke.
Kind ReWatch does not support the use or abuse of any controlled substances.
But yeah, that's it. So you ready to go watch it?
Ja, ich denke.
Exactly. Ready? Well,
Yeah.
Let's go watch it.
Yeah, that's some rig, all right.
You can't do this! We made you! You wanna rock and roll with me, pussman?
Judgement Night. This is a deadly game of cat and mouse. They must fight to survive. I haven't seen this movie since I was like 8 years old. And I don't think I got it back then. I don't remember it, except to say that I remember seeing all of them on screen at the same time. This is Stephen Dorff from Blade. You remember Blade?
Not seen Blade.
What?
Isn't there a new version of Blade
Next movie.
coming soon?
Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, do you want to read back?
Wait, what's the theme for tonight?
Oh, the theme, clearly, is Emilio Estevez. Whoa! He's the star in the last movie. He's the star in this movie. I would much rather be watching Free Jack. But, you know, this could be fun.
Dick.
He looks like an older Tom Holland.
Which one?
They both do.
Wait, Dennis Leary looks like... Wait until you see him on screen. You're not going to think he looks anything like Tom
Maybe
Holland.
it's the hair.
Dennis Leary actually played Gwen Stacy's dad in the Spider-Man before Tom Holland.
It's connected.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the movie about?
So, all these actors, they star in this riveting action thriller pitting 4 young men against both the hostile city streets and the twisted mind of a killer. While racing to a boxing match, Frank, Mike, John, and Ray get more than they bargained for, which is super cliche. A wrong turn lands them directly in the path of Fallon, a vicious, wisecracking drug lord. After accidentally witnessing Fallon murder a disloyal henchman, the 4 become his unwilling prey in a savage game of cat and mouse. They're very sold on this selling point. As they mercilessly stalked through the urban jungle in this taut suspense drama.
It would be really cool if they mercilessly talked through the urban jungle. Just walking through shit, talking to each other. But, I mean, Brian was saying that this is more action-packed than Free Jack was, so I guess I'm going to give it a chance. Not like I have a choice.
You didn't know we picked this movie.
Fair enough. And we definitely didn't do more than one take on this, but but it's gonna be a good time, and I think we're gonna have fun watching it. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this.
Hey! Help! Police! Help! We got somebody shot! Hey!
Back off, kid. You ain't got no balls. Oh, boys, rule number 2. No witnesses.
Money got blood on it, man.
You ever seen any that didn't?
Hey, you fucking scumbag! I need help.
The first movie tonight was Maximum Overdrive. Hold for applause.
You're going to be holding a very long time.
Yes. As bad as it was, I think we all really enjoyed it. You know, I actually think we had more fun with this one
Oh, yeah.
than most movies we've had on here.
We always do. Is that a fucking
Where the
bazooka?
fuck did he get a bazooka?
Why are you just launching over the people?
If one's kind of like jesty and we're all like in it, and then one's like serious and we're like,
Yeah, and like this is what I think we kind of watched them in reverse. I think this one should have been first and should have been second because this one's a little more fun. We kind of lost steam on this one. But that being said, reason I picked this one, this was a movie I watched as a kid. Oh God, I can't tell you how many times because it was another TNT, like constantly on TV.
Maximum Overdrive, next on TNT.
I love this movie as a kid. What not to like? You have the Green Goblin on the front of a truck running people over and killing people. It was just that and the baseball soda machine was just one of the more creative kills in a movie in a while. But
they steamrolled a child.
oh my God.
All right, we're running over children now.
Oh, and we'll talk about that because there's a funny story behind that one. I love that. Yes. The other thing about this one is this is the only movie written and directed by Stephen King. Apparently was at the height of his cocaine addiction. And one of my favorite quotes of Stephen King is they've asked him why he doesn't direct movies, and his response is always, "Have you seen Maximum Overdrive?" Which,
but that soundtrack though,
and there were some good decisions on there. The music, I mean, what better music if you were like a horror author living in the middle of Maine on a coke binge? What better soundtrack would be than AC/DC?
You wanna rock and roll with me, pussman?
Trucks. Vengeful trucks.
Yes. From aliens, and then some comment about Russian satellites.
Where did the UFO come from at the end?
That is a cocaine-induced just...
Weather satellite, which happened to be equipped with a laser cannon and Class 4 nuclear missile. What the fuck is a Class 4 nuclear missile?
Isn't it obvious? Trucks from hell, highway to hell,
Yes.
hell's bells, hell's horn.
It's true. That's a funny... Oh, yeah, sorry.
Did you notice the... Oh no, I noticed the toilet paper rolls in that shot. They are very decorated.
They did, yeah. They put the toilet paper
that
rolls.
exploded with the toilet paper rolls.
that's beautiful.
Everybody's dream during the pandemic.
Featuring music by AC/DC. All right, so that being said, Stephen King, would you like to give us a little bit of how it started?
Yeah, Stephen King.
How it started. My name is Janina, not Stephen.
Did I call you Stephen?
No, you
You
said
just- no,
Stephen
you
King
just-
and then turned it.
Just turn to me
You'll
saying
hear it
Stephen
when you
King.
play it. When you edit, it's good.
This machine just called me an asshole.
I am known for loving weird, gory horror stories. Yeah, that's true. So wait, how it started? It was that comet passing by, and there was, although we didn't really know much about the comet except that it said that in the news, and there was green glowing everywhere. And suddenly, a few electronic devices started acting out, like that little electronic knife that started cutting the poor lady at the stove, and nobody wanted to believe her.
Well, it turned itself on and it hit me.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that was so cool. It was the LED display on top of the bank, showing the time, the temperature, and then "fuck you" over
Just
again.
a question: did the aliens put the words?
They just understand human profanity right out the gate.
Obviously, these machines are smart enough to understand human language. I mean, the gun later has communicated with the humans in human language, so obviously they have a kind of intelligence.
I just love that the first thing they pull out of the entire spoken human word is just "fuck you" and "asshole." Like that's the first thing that
The human language. Fuck you.
What?
Yeah, because right after they seize the "fuck you," we're introduced to
Stephen King himself, trying to get money from the ATM and just saying, "You're an asshole." So what?
with a really cheesy attempt at a southern accent. Hi, it's me, Fishy, call me an asshole.
And he also had those amazing glasses where you flip up your sunglasses. It looked so cheesy.
The first big event of the movie is the bridge. What are those bridges
Oh
called?
man, I completely forgot. I don't know, I can tell it in German.
Okay, what are they called in German?
Zugbrücke.
Yes, they're called a drawbridge.
Yes.
So.
Wow, he pulled that out of a different language.
All right. So the machines activate and start lifting the bridge while there's cars on it. And you have my favorite is the two idiots, the two guys. There's something obviously wrong.
The light's green. The crossbars never went down.
Watermelons were flying.
They dumped the melons everywhere.
The AC/DC truck. What else did we have? We had people going through windshield. The biker who slides through the gap and falls into the water with.
The cars that are tipping over as if the ramp was like in the 90 degrees, while it was actually just more like...
Oh yeah, the trucks were pew on the back like turtles.
Yes. And the truck that was at the top that lifted up far enough that it fell through and a slow motion fall into
And
the
the guy
water.
stayed in the car.
And I like how the fall, it wasn't like a normal truck, it was like
like a feather.
I'm like, the physics, guys, you know? I mean, it looked cool.
And you can't forget the tennis player who got out and slipped and fell on the melons.
Oh yeah,
Them
the tennis
melons.
player.
Yeah.
I mean, his entire beautiful white shirt was ruined with red watermelon juice.
Do we think they used watermelons to make it more bloody looking?
It's hard to get out.
You know, I don't think that's far off.
Yeah, I mean, watermelon is an interesting choice.
Because you had mentioned that they needed to keep the gore blipped down
Oh, yeah.
so that it didn't get put in certain
gory.
categories on TV and stuff. So if you use any red anything...
Oh no!
The melons!
Tumbling water through the windshield.
You could be like, haha.
And they're better than tomatoes because tomatoes are not kept like in an open van in the back.
Well, tomatoes aren't really going to bust through a windshield like a watermelon's going to bust through the
You need
windshield.
something big and heavy that breaks open and looks like a head exploding.
Right, although, what would we say, this was 86? Even in 86, though, they had safety glass and windshields. That watermelon just shattered like it was just a normal glass window.
Oh, that
Maybe
lady
some
that
of the
flew-
vehicles were older.
Maybe.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be legally on the road.
Sure they
People still drive shit without seatbelts. They're not supposed to, but they do.
Stuff gets grandfathered in,
Yeah.
especially if they don't make the new glass for the old model.
Those cars weren't that old. I was thinking,
He says no.
No. All right, so they get past
We're
there.
hung up on this, but not the physics. The complete nothing so far has been logical, but the watermelon going through the windshield is too
It needs to
far.
be. It needs to be proper.
I love getting caught on shit like that. It's one of my favorite things.
All right.
Cut in Patrick Stewart going, this far, no farther, from Star Trek First Contact.
All right, no Star Trek references.
This far, no further.
Engage.
Nice. Then we end up meeting our hero.
On parole, boy. Either your ass belongs to me or it belongs to the state of North Carolina.
He looks so much more like Martin Sheen.
Wait, look at Emilio. Is this This is a zombie movie. This isn't a...
Well, Emilio looks like he's been up for a few days.
Emilio!
What was his name in it? Because they Bill.
Bill,
They would say the name. Yeah, Bill. So we introduce Bill, who we find out was worked a full shift and wants to go home. But the boss pulls him aside and says, you need to work more and you're going to work off the clock because this star on your time card means you're a felon and you're on probation. And if I report you to probation officer, you're going to jail. And then Bill notices that almost everyone that works there is the same.
They all got the naughty stars.
Yes.
They were not good noodles.
No, they were bad people.
Some of them had two.
Exactly. So
that means you're double felon.
Yes. And that's when the knife thing happens. So the first thing we really see of going bad is the electric knife, where it just turns on and cuts her arm, and Bill decides to hit it with a hammer.
Which is actually a smart choice because it was running on a battery and you couldn't pull the power, so you need to
Definitely
try
don't
it.
pick it up and take the batteries out. Yeah, don't pick it up and turn it off or unplug it.
Well, obviously turning it off don't do no good. It turns itself right back on again.
It's battery powered, so you can't unplug it. I don't think you know how batteries work.
Well, but I mean, you don't know how fast it's going to spin when it notices that you're trying to pick it up.
I didn't know the machines were alive yet. He just went straight for the hammer.
Well, it was
he
running on the
shocked.
ground.
Yeah, there
It
was
was on
adrenaline rushing through him. He was not
And it
thinking
just torn
rationally. He
through
was
her
just
arm.
hammer.
Hammer
Kill it,
time.
kill it.
But
Fire.
he was trying to make the woman who was hurt feel more comfort. And unplugging it is not going to look as comforting as him coming with a hammer and
Not nearly as cool either.
I mean, you wouldn't just smash the shit out of your Roomba if it tried to pull some shit on you?
I mean, honestly, if you did 2 lines of cocaine, you're not going to pull the battery out. You're going to smash it with a hammer. So I'm sure Stephen King's like, hit it! And that's
And I smash it
Yeah.
with a hammer!
exactly.
Is that Gustavo Fring?
It is.
Holy shit, that is Moff Gideon.
Whoa. Oh yeah, Gustavo
Fring.
Fring.
Gustavo, yeah. Gus was in playing video games where all of a sudden the video game started pouring out money and the cigarette machine started pouring out money, so he loaded his pockets up, gets hypnotized by one of the video games, and then killed by it.
I'm gonna steal some fucking cigarettes. Yeah.
Did you have to do it in that voice?
Electrocuted.
Yeah, he was playing video games and then the video games were playing
just
him.
coursing through. Wow.
Yeah.
And while he's laying in the corner, more electricity coursing through his body.
It was one of those slow release electrocutions.
Yeah.
The residual arcing.
Okay. And we start introducing more characters. They introduce us to Lisa Simpson and her new husband.
The only logical character in the entire movie.
Because I got to go to the ladies.
Can I come in and watch?
No, you can't not come in and watch.
She was, yes.
She's just like, what is wrong with all of you people? Why are we here? And I'm like, I love you so much. Drive crazier.
The other way!
Why don't you let the big men save the day or whatever?
The next movie she did after this was Tokyo Drift, right? Because that lady could drive.
I legit thought you were serious.
So did I.
I was so excited. I'm like, I've got to watch it now.
But
Seen it.
they get attacked by a tow truck, get away, and some...
I wouldn't be happy if I drove myself into a pole. And he didn't even do a good job. He's still alive. Why is the truck covered in blood?
Only the 3 guys got that joke.
What?
Yeah, but they saw a dead guy at the gas station first, and then he's like, I'm going to look at it for a long time. And then he's like, oh, a truck, it's going to run me over. Oh, I should look at the dead guy some more. I should stand and look at the truck some more. I sure do like standing. And she's like, why aren't you moving? And scene.
What kind of a pole are we talking about?
Oh yeah, and then she like donuts out of there. She's like, let's drive down every avenue before actually departing. And I'm like, this is good. This is a good time.
And then they try to sneak into the truck stop but getting hit and get out. And somehow she gets stuck in, the seatbelt gets stuck. They cut her
Because the car
loose.
front flipped when it got hit from the
Yeah.
side.
Yep.
Because that's
Right.
what cars do.
Physics.
Weren't the trucks already doing the vicious cycle around?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like a flock of vultures just waiting
like
for their prey.
It reminds
to
me of those Western scenes where you got like all the wagons in the middle in the circle, and the
Circle
Native
wagon.
Americans are just cycling around them shooting.
Yes. We get introduced to the preacher and Bill's future girlfriend.
And if you don't get your hand off my leg, you're going to be wiping your ass with a hook the next time you take a dump.
We don't know. Maybe they depart after that. Maybe it was just a short.
A short truck influenced fling.
Okay, Bill's fling. We introduced to Bill's fling and the preacher.
Handsy preacher.
Yes.
Yeah,
the really
because
handsy
she hears the radio guy saying that there are a lot of electronic devices that are acting peculiar and to try to remain safe in whatever manner you can. And he's all like, I'm gonna grab your leg. And she's like, did you not hear the radio? And he's like, leg. He's like, no, we're driving over here. And then he's like, you're a grateful girl, and I drove you, girl, in my new car, girl, and you didn't let me touch your leg.
Well, you gotta do that. He got the mustache. So you
Girl,
gotta,
the mustache. And then I didn't like him. Everyone saved him from being run over, and it was really unnecessary.
Multiple times.
At least he had a very long and painful death by lying in the trench.
Laying in, yeah.
They get to the truck stop, and she can finally get away from him. And then that's when we jump to, I think that's in the order, we jump to the baseball team. So the baseball
the
game's
kids.
over, and that's the fun one because, please, you started it, you can go ahead.
Well, the kids were playing baseball, and then I think they took a break, and the coach, was it the coach that gets demolished?
Come on, sodas. I'm buying.
So he gets to the vending machine from hell, and it just starts like, you know, those machines that launch baseballs?
Yep. Oh boy.
It pretty much does that with the cans, and instead of, you know, ducking or running or something, he gets hit in an unfortunate place first, and then gets crippled.
Just proceeds
Drops
to
to
crumple.
his knees, gets hit in the stomach, stays there looking directly at,
Down the barrel.
yes, down the barrel, and out he goes with a perfect circular wound upon his head.
Because the can that hit his forehead has stamped the circle out perfectly well. That's
It's like a cookie cutter.
Do you think the soda in the machine was Coke?
God, I hope so. This movie really didn't have enough Coke in it.
Careful, you don't want to get canned.
And yeah, so like the fun part was it's launching those cans at the kids, and the kids are getting hit and dropping. Some of the kids are actually dropping from getting hit.
There were like 3 kids just laying either unconscious or dead in the
bloody,
field
yeah.
And
as
then
the
they
kid
get
with the mask on
steamrolled.
runs away, and I'm like, oh.
I love that he tried to like save the guy though. He put the mask on.
Yep.
Holding it, as you said, was it you or?
Yeah, here's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
His
just hit him in the
was,
hand.
like perfectly in range to just get smashed.
Yeah, you saw what it did to the guy's head. You know what it's
Yeah.
gonna do to your hand.
Granted, it's better the head than the hand.
True,
than
but
the
your
face.
hand's just gonna be demolished,
and
and they
then
can do that to a
the
skull.
mask is going to fall off, and that is going to hit your hand, so you're in pain there, and pain and dead, and all.
But again, we're focusing on the watermelon again. You know, basically. But yes, so the kids are running. It's just funny. Like we discussed in Demon Night, where you don't see a lot of movies where you kill a kid. They killed a lot of kids.
Oh yeah.
Including one of the most brutal killings of a kid in a movie.
Flattened.
Yes, where the steamroller.
Oh my god.
That's actually pretty fucking scary.
Yeah, that's rough.
Rest in peace to the child.
Oh my god!
All right, we're running over children now.
runs over the scoreboard and just the kid. Someone pointed out the kid just fell off the bike perfectly right in front of a steamroller.
Yep.
It's a very Austin Powers moment.
Yeah.
I thought that very same thing. I was like, where's the slow-mo?
Now, the story in the movie, apparently, I don't remember where I heard this, but it's a big story, is that kid dummy was filled with like blood. So the idea was a steamroller was going to run over it, and then you would see the blood smear on it. The story is when it went, it was like, I think, a toothpaste. By the time it hit the head, it was filled with blood and it just burst. The dummy's head just burst. And apparently Stephen King's like, yeah, that's it! That's even better! But the word, when it got to editing, they're like, yeah, you're not going to get an R. Actually, I don't think NC-17 existed yet. You're going to get an X rating for this because it was just so gory.
It's funny you say that because the moment the steamroller went over the child, one of my first thoughts after like, wow, they actually just did that was, why is there no blood on the roller?
Exactly.
Because you see it too, is like well, I'll play it, right? It cuts to right where you see the kid's head go, and it just cuts to, they probably cut a frame before his head just explodes.
What a missed opportunity.
I'm sure, I wonder if we can find online.
Find an uncut version?
Yeah.
I want to see me some uncut exploded children. Like what? How do you even find that on YouTube?
It's gonna be
Stephen King gushing blood from children.
It's gonna be an extended
Well,
cut.
I'm gonna get the same thing typing in steamrolled children. So, realistically, there's no favorable way to word any of this.
There is no algorithm that's gonna detect your words and chime.
Well, how are you gonna get?
Nicely.
I mean, what if there's an extended cut of the kids getting hit with soda cans?
Oh,
that would be a catastrophe.
Death by Walkman.
How are the Walkmans killing?
Death by Walk.
Music.
It was an anti-Sony ad. We see the people who were strangled by their headphones. Apparently, that happened a lot.
There was
and
a
head
lot of,
rise, yeah.
And they were just 2 feet. Just
Oh yeah, we saw 2 feet. Just
where did the rest of the person?
there's a lawnmower. Because the lawnmower was covered in blood.
Oh, so it just like went over the person and just left 2 perfect feet.
Or it cut them and then spit them out, and they just happened to land.
Yeah.
Mulched the rest of the person.
Yeah.
I just imagine because a person will stand so tall that it just went by and then left behind the feet.
The person was running, and then they hurt their ankle, and then they fell down and was in reach for the more and lower.
Or they were laying down and it ran them over just above the ankles because of the weight of the feet. They just kind of.
The lawnmower's name is Watermelon. Hi, friends.
Hello.
My name's Brian.
I was about to say hi, Brian, but
it's not.
Nope.
And as Brian, I'd like to say this is the best movie ever made.
Quoted.
recap to intro.
Yeah.
So where were we at in the story? We just passed the lawnmower, right?
He got blinded by the diesel truck
Blinded by the
because
diesel fuel.
they're starting to be naughty,
The
troublemaking.
black,
truck
oily diesel fuel.
Yeah, but they don't really represent car fluids very correctly in media.
Well, I'm not sure how it was in the 80s. I mean, it was less filtered and all that in those times. There was still lead in gas, so maybe diesel was dark at the time and not nice and bright.
I like bright diesel, like shiny diesel.
That's very nice.
Watermelon.
I don't think I have ever seen these.
Speaking
gonna
of
be for
watermelon,
Anytime we hyperfixate on a topic, we're just gonna say watermelon.
Watermelon.
Oh my god, it's like new choice.
at that time, there was already a lot happening at the gas station. So the trip of the kid took a very long time to the gas station, and at the gas station, stuff happened.
What the hell are you guys looking at?
Nothing. That's right, nothing.
Oh, right, because the kid's father wanted to go out and rescue the kid. He's like, no, I don't care if I'm blind. I'm going to go. And he goes out there, and then a truck just comes right at him. He just kind of stares at it blindly.
I can see just fine.
Stares at it blindly.
And then the truck hits him. That was like our first gruesome death, because you can see him stamp on the front of it, like the shape of his head in red, and smack.
But what's really funny is there was a moment of just like physics break because he just kind of goes, okay. He doesn't really fly right. And you're like, you all right?
He was full of cotton batting and paint. And then when the truck goes over him, he rolls like to the side.
Yep. And then he just rolls around on the ground for a while, and I'm like, is nobody gonna go out there and help him? Like, they were super concerned about the guy with the briefcase, and now all of a sudden, like, they're not. And I'm like, you guys.
And that guy got backed into by a truck and knocked straight out of his shoes. His shoes stayed on the ground right there, and he got thrown into the
They brought the
ditch.
shoes back a couple of times and ran over them just as a reminder. This is how it goes. Your
just
shoes
feel
are
like
going to be there as a...
2 trucks should have just played like volleyball with the cart just back and forth, because clearly they're good hitters. They just need to coordinate.
Yeah. And at this point, the trucks like they every
semi-pong.
Yes.
Ooh.
Semi-pong. Every time somebody goes outside, they die. These trucks hate people badly, and we don't understand yet why the trucks don't just run over the restaurant until Emilio Estevez talks to a dude while he's taking a poop. And that dude reveals that there's a bunch of weapons in the basement, and that poop was so because you can hear him like a purr, doop. Like,
has he really got a lot of firepower down the cellar? Well, you heard him tell me to shut up, didn't you?
That was the best sound effect.
They were very detailed in that scene, unnecessarily so, in my opinion.
People die. Eventually, the kid, after dark, somehow figures out how to get that perforated metal out of the way, crawls through, and when he is in the gully, everybody's hearing this dude screaming for his life, saying, "You have to help me." The guy that got knocked out of his shoes, he's not dead yet.
I think it's actually a different
Jesus
pipe.
would save him.
I think there were 2 different pipes there because remember in the end they are cutting
because they had to
open
cut
that.
open the wires. So because he said that the kid couldn't get in because of the wires.
Exactly, yeah, and I think the wired tube goes to the station itself, and the other tube that the kid found that was not blocked went to the guy, to the trench.
To the trench, where the guy wasn't quite dead yet. And he was screaming for help, but then when the kid got there, he wasn't screaming anymore. He was laying there like, with his eyes wide open. And then the kid was like, okay, well, this dude's dead, and just goes past him. And then the guy's like, if you don't help me and drag my fat body out of here, I'll kill you. Like, just really motivating the child to help him.
And I'm like, boy, if you can't even save yourself, there's no way you have the strength to kill me. I mean, realistically, you're threatening something that you can't you can't hold up your word there.
I feel like he did that the entire movie though.
Just talking.
Because with the girl.
Sometimes I think this whole world forgot what good manners is.
He's sitting there threatening her.
And he was the worst. He just threatened everybody.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to preach and you're going to give me what I want. And if you don't, I'm going to berate you until I get it. That was kind of his way, right?
Yep.
But especially towards women and children. He's very misogynistic, very bad patriarchy.
Yeah, bad man.
Bad man.
We wanted him dead.
And we got it.
We got it.
Right then, too, because he just kind of like, I'm going to kill you. I'm dead. Right as the rescue party of Emilio! And
the other
guy come out of the tube, and they're like, come on, kid, this way. Just in time for a truck to dig down into the ditch after him and be like, I'm going to kill you. And they go through the pipe just in time for the pipe to get crushed by the truck, and they narrowly escape death.
Yep.
Truck.
What if those trucks try coming up this tunnel? I'm just going to call them the Mormons. The Mormon's girlfriend and her were the only reasonably intelligent people in the film.
I think they're dead.
Yeah, seriously, when they went on that rescue mission and the one girl, she's like, you don't have to be a hero. There's no way you're going out there. And the one girl's like, well, if your blankety blank was out there, you'd want him rescued, wouldn't you? And she's like, well, he's not. He's like, no.
If it was your man out there, you'd want someone to go, wouldn't you? Well, it ain't.
I have mine. You stay here. I liked her. She drove like a crazy person, and she was Lisa Simpson, and it made me very happy to hear her talk anything.
I feel like I shouldn't have let you drive again. It's so great. But then also, I can't remember
She's
her
like,
name.
I hate anything with more than 4 legs. I love her. I just want to put her in my pocket.
So
Look,
she
I
doesn't
have
like
one.
Slipnir.
Yep, they're in my pocket.
From Mormon to more man.
Emilio's girlfriend also basically explained the entire reason all of this was happening. She supposed the entire reason all of this was happening correctly. And then he was like, I don't know about that. And then he thinks about it and he's like, yeah, I think you're right. And she's like, no, but you're the one that figured it out.
You're the hero.
Yeah.
And I'm like, way to go, misogyny. Stealing the only credit she had this whole movie and then just giving it to the main character, man.
You are not only a hero, you are a genius.
Her purpose is completely fulfilled by being a hot pair of buttocks.
Yeah,
A hot pair. Well, actually,
ankles.
but
He got it
she's
on a
not the hot
silver
pair of
platter.
buttocks. If you remember, when they rescue the kid and he comes in, he's like, hey, where's my dad? And they're like, your dad's dead, kid. And he's like, I'm so sad. And instead of just hugging Emilio Estevez, he like bends halfway over, hugs him like low around the waist, and Emilio Estevez gets him in a deep guillotine, and the kid just like grabs firmly onto his butt.
You can't cry, but you can grab another man's butt. That's
what he was doing. And that's how he expressed his sorrow over the death of his father.
Coping mechanisms in the 80s were very different than they are now. Like,
You gotta get in that emotionally devastating butt grab sometimes.
He's like, be a man, no emotions.
Calm down, calm down.
Sometimes. If
I'm so sad.
I'm 8 years old, my dad's dead, grabbing Emilio's butt.
I think he was older than 8. More like 13 or so.
I feel like he needed
Like
a lot more
low
screen
teenager?
time.
He also reminded me of like Stand By Me River Phoenix.
Except alive.
But River Phoenix wasn't dead by that point. I mean, he was dead by this point, but not by that point. Anyway.
What's your point?
My point is, eventually,
It was a play on words.
the machines call in reinforcements
Oh, yeah.
in the
smart
force of
move.
more machines.
The
gun on a
gun
stick.
wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Why was there? It was a cart with a
south.
stick
Anything.
and a gun, and it went. Because he ended up being like the ace, you know? He ended up being the trump card because at one point the trucks are all like, we're running out of gas, what do we do? And they're all communicating with like truck Morse code with their little.
Well, that was
thing.
him. He was like, beep,
and then
beep,
the
beep,
kid,
beep,
for
beep,
whatever
beep.
reason, is just like, hey guys, I know Morse code. And
No, really. I should know. I got a merit badge in it this spring.
he just takes his little thing and he like writes out what the trucks are all saying to each other. And he's like, hey guys, if we give them more gas, they won't kill us. And then the
They
little guy's just like,
promise.
I'm gonna.
No, I think actually that the trucks were communicating differently somehow. We don't know how exactly. At the beginning, when all the trucks started coming alive, they did their smoke signal
honky.
stuff.
Emilio goes outside and heroically pumps gas,
Tell all your friends the main line's open.
along with everybody else. But for some reason, it was so difficult for him
Yep.
that he had severely blistered hands.
Every man when they get a cold.
And he was almost fainting from trying to get that hose in the gas
Putting
tank.
the hose in the
It's-
tank and engaging the clicker to automatically fill it and then just standing there and relaxing is so hard.
God forbid he live in Oregon.
He just needed he needed the woman to just dab the sweat.
Help me.
Now listen,
I'm sick.
for everybody out there that loves Emilio Estevez, I'm not mad at him for this. This wasn't his choice. It was Stephen King's choice.
So you're mad at Stephen King?
I'm mad at Stephen King. But honestly, Stephen King's mad at himself too, because he hasn't directed anything since then.
Mm-hmm. It drops the diesel on the skin, or it gets one with a hose. He was on his legs pretty quickly after that. I mean, he was lying on the bed getting some more care, and after that he just ran around somewhere.
He just ran around. At some point, they started shooting these things with
Cocaine.
rocket launchers. Cocaine.
I got the best shit on the East Coast, practically uncut.
Here, take this medicine.
But at some point, there were rocket launchers involved in this thing, and it was before they learned about the basement. There was the bazooka.
With the woman screeching.
Yeah.
We're not That was just unnecessary, and she did it twice.
Yeah, and I'm like, if it didn't work the first time, I just don't know what you have been stricken by to think it will work a second time.
Things of panic cause a lot of issues in the human brain. Just look at Choreomania, where you freaking entire villages during the Black Plague just dance themselves to death because insanity. So screeching "We made you" isn't that insane when it comes to.
I agree with you. However, I will say that all of the acting in this movie was actually pretty good, except for that.
Except for that. It was her one line.
that you proceeded to just literally, over and over and over and over.
In different tones.
It almost seemed to me like an acting exercise, like realistically. Like the way that she was
Say it
just,
like this.
They're like, hey,
like this.
Just keep going with it. Just keep trying different ways, see what works best for you.
And Stephen King said all of them.
Yeah, Stephen King. He's just like, they're all good, everyone. In fact, do more again. A second time, sir? Yeah, again, and flail more.
Flail more.
And then
But
she was
real stiff like.
The
like
second one, she was
stiff
like
arm
just
flail.
I was like, do you have any bones, darling? A wacky waving and flailing tube man.
I'm not sure. I would say that Emilio tried to do what his dad was so successful in. You know, in Apocalypse Now, when he had the mirror scene in the beginning, he was completely drunk and hurting himself. And maybe Emilio thought, oh, wow, that was an amazing scene. I need to do something like that too. And he just got hyped up on stuff. And that's why he looked so terrible. I'm not sure if cocaine does pink eye to you.
If it does pink eye to you, I love that.
I mean, it
so
does
much.
if you sniff it with your eyes.
you
just like you plug your nose and just like suck in really hard.
I mean, that does work. There's like a whatever their connector thing. It's
Oh,
how people
my nose is
squirt
hurting
milk
so
out
badly
their
from
eyes.
sniffing so much cocaine. How do I get it? Oh, he can put it in
my
eyes.
Ow.
To go with your comment, point out who Emilio Estevez's family is. Most people might.
Oh yeah, Emilio Estevez. He's the son of Charlie Sheen, or the brother of Charlie Sheen, and the son of Michael Sheen.
Martin.
Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen. I'm terrible with their names,
it's Martin
but
Sheen.
Martin
Even I know that, and almost nothing.
terrible with names. But Charlie Sheen is his famous coked-out brother.
You know,
I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. I have one speed. I have one gear. Go.
That's all of it. But he didn't want to ride on his family's coattails, so he used his mother's
their
maiden
cocktail.
name, Estevez, right?
Kind of. The family didn't think the ethnic name would do well, so they changed their name to Sheen.
Oh, and so he stuck with the family's ethnic name because he was like, screw the patriarchy, which is basically what this movie was not about.
Jesus is coming. He is pissed.
This movie was about embracing the patriarchy.
It was about trucks. Trucks and coke.
No, it was about how 2 women were smart and unraveled the whole thing and used a bunch of dumb guys
And
as
all the
meat
men
shields
were
to
put the
survive.
lights still green.
I mean, honestly, that's probably the smartest thing they could have done.
Yeah.
Why be truck fodder when you could play it smart?
Yeah.
It's the way to do it. Let the men folk feel good using the bazookas and the machine guns. We're gonna stand back here and live. I'm so good at being wrong. If anybody wants to learn how to be more wrong, take my master class. www.idon'tdoshitright.com.
I don't think you spelled that right.
That's gonna be the new show on our channel.
I don't do shit right.
Richard being destroyed
You
by the
didn't even give
girls.
them the right domain name, Richard. God damn it.
After Be Kind ReWatch, please watch Richard Doesn't Know Shit.
Richard doesn't know shit.
Anyway, where were we?
Watermelon.
Oh,
The demented ice cream truck.
It's about to be a heist cream.
That really had it had such a suspenseful build up because it just kept showing up and then it just like
died.
And then
Was it
they,
like
The girl
icy
had to shoot
taste
the
or
ice cream
something
truck
like that?
again.
and they shot the goblin truck in the mouth with
Oh, yeah,
the
Emilio
bazooka.
hip shot it in the mouth with the bazooka.
And it went
Glowed red.
They had so much ammunition for that bazooka.
So much ammunition for the bazooka, for the one-shot weapon.
Truck's like, I didn't want to take a shot in the mouth.
Woo.
Okay, they found a boat.
They found a sailboat.
So yeah. They say they sneak to dock. They find a sailboat that clearly doesn't have a motor on it.
or any dials or digital components at all.
Nothing like that. It's just
No radio, nothing.
it's an analog boat entirely, and with ropes and stuff, and for anybody that wants to know, that's what taking a shot in the mouth like a champ looks like.
Yeah,
Green Goblin.
the fire and smoke really sells it.
And then they just get away on the boat, and that's the end of the movie, right? Because
Until they shoot a UFO
out of the sky. I was like, where did a UFO come from?
It wasn't even really. It was just
the
font.
text at the end. That was just like a few days later they shot a UFO out of the sky, and then the comet passed, and it was over.
Yeah, and I'm like, you
The
could
Russians
have.
were involved somehow.
Yeah.
You either
the
could have.
UFO the comet?
It was a Russian weather satellite that just happens to have nukes
Lasers
and laser
and
guns.
Class 4 nukes.
Yeah.
Class 4 nuclear missiles. What is even a Class 4 missile?
Maybe it is something that was in the book, more detailedly explained. Maybe it was an entire topic in the book that we didn't get in the movie because it wasn't in the movie, but that line was referencing to
just
something happening
wrapped
in the
it in
book,
there,
more
yeah.
backstory.
Yeah, so what did everybody think? Guests should go first.
All right. So watching it in a big group, in a big funny group, was hilarious. We had a lot of fun watching it, so I think I would watch it again in 5 to 10 years if I had another cool group, maybe some little drinks or so. But that's like a really fun. Let's have just a. We're not really watching the movie, but we're just gossiping around and have fun with it. That's a cool one.
Take a shot every time a truck blows up.
That would be a great drinking game for this. Speaking of your great drinking game idea, what did you think of this film?
That was an odd segue. I thought it was weird.
Yeah?
I thought it was very weird because there are certain ways when you present a story that you have to kind of stick to the rules of the universe that you create as a good writer. So if you have like a magic system, you have to be able to like regulate and manage and stay within the rules of that magic system. This did not explain its magic system at all, and it didn't have any congruency or consistency within that magic system. It just kind of did whatever it wanted. So I just kind of watched the movie and went, you're gonna do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That was a cool shot. And it was, I mean, I didn't really delve into like the suspension of disbelief very much because there just wasn't anything really for me to believe. No. But I definitely thought that it was very eccentric.
No! You can't do this! We made you!
Yeah, that's a good word.
There was a lot of screaming and a lot of blood and a lot of unnecessary soda can murders. But
Walkman murders.
And what did the cord do? Like it just defied physics.
You've
like,
never
and I'm
seen
like, that's
cords
fine.
just come alive and whip around your room?
Most things are wireless nowadays. It's called Bluetooth.
Oh. The 80s were a nightmare, man.
Just Walkmans.
Just these Walkmans attacking people left and right.
Fucking Sony.
Callie.
Coming from the generation of the digital age and technology, I didn't expect so much focus on trucks.
Yeah, that's some rig, all right.
Like,
Wasn't it originally called Truck?
I think the book is called Trucks or something, I don't know. But when I heard the synopsis of this movie, my head was like, oh, that's actually a really cool concept because I'm thinking something like Black Mirror, where the digital age gets turned against us.
We made you!
We made you! Like AI stuff, something robotic, something that's not trucks and Walkmans. And
Trucks
vending
and
machines.
Mormons.
It's Walkmans, not Mormons.
Oh.
Trucks and Mormons.
Dang the Mormons.
Oh no.
But yeah, so I was expecting something significantly different than what this movie, but I that was thinking from a modern age rather than the before technology era. I likewise would only watch this again as a drinking game, but it was entertaining.
Oh yeah.
It was fun to watch with you guys.
Yeah, I agree. I watched this once when I was really young, and I couldn't stand it, and I absolutely adored it today. I'm totally going to watch this again. I might even watch it by myself, but there will be a lot of alcohol.
They'll have a drinking game for one.
Yeah, exactly. Or I'll take it to like this nerdy bar I go to, and we'll just play it on the screen, and because that's what they're into, and it will become a drinking game.
Shit's funny.
So I think we all agree. Yes,
Yep.
I will watch this movie again as a meme with alcohol. What about Brian?
I think this movie and every Emilio Estevez movie should be put in the Library of Congress because he is a national hero.
That was a movie.
Okay, yeah, this one's gonna be. This
one's gonna be a slog.
You were talking about cliche. This is a movie of cliches.
It's pronounced Kleich.
Okay. I really expected to like this one a lot better.
I think I would have liked this one if I was wide awake at a movie theater with some popcorn in 1991. Right, but I would have liked it in 1991.
Wouldn't have been much of a movie in 91, though.
No.
How could you think I'm gay?
Boat trip.
Why did you pick this movie?
So,
why
did I pick this movie?
Why did you
pick this movie instead of Free Jack?
Why did I pick this movie? Other than the fact that Emilio Estevez is like I said, a national treasure. Any movie he's in should probably be watched, if not owned.
You know, and the cast of this movie is a standout cast.
But the reason I did buy this is what set this movie apart when it came out was the soundtrack. I owned one mini disc for like a year, and it was this soundtrack. But what was cool about the soundtrack was they teamed up top metal and like punk hardcore acts with hip hop acts and made them do a song together. So the opening song that I always think of, Just Another Victim, was Helmet and House of Pain, which was a neat thing too. Is one of Dennis Leary's henchmen is Everlast, who was the head of House of Pain.
That's pretty
kind of neat.
I don't think he's getting up.
I'm loving this Predator music.
I was supposed to say, music's actually pretty good.
It is. I bet you $1. This is the same. The same dude that did the score for Predator.
This is Alan Silvestri. I'll bet you $1.
I don't know if it says it on here. What else is he? Oh, Alan Silvestri. Yep, music by. What was interesting is
Predator 1, Predator 2, all the Back to the Future, Forrest Gump. Like,
yeah, this guy, Avengers, like this guy.
All the Avengers
He's
movies.
done the score of it, and the score of it was neat. Some of it didn't fit, but the score was good.
But the score of this sounded just like it's right out of Predator. Like I was expecting. Yeah, Predator 2. And I was expecting Yautja to jump off a roof any second and take somebody's spine.
Especially when they were crossing the rooftop on the ladder.
Yeah.
Let's go, Ray.
Okay, well, I'll start. We start with Emilio Estevez talking to his wife. His wife's saying, "You've been kind of emo. You need to get out with your friends and do something. Except for your one friend. I don't like him." So she wants him to go because he's been mopey, but she doesn't trust one of his friends.
Is it a black friend?
No, it's not.
Because I know your friends.
I don't like him.
Yeah,
I don't like that guy.
but-
Which friend? That one guy.
Yeah, that one guy that I don't like either. I don't think anyone likes him.
Go and have some fun. Maybe you'll stop walking around with that look on your face.
So they decide to go to a boxing match. And the character, or the person that no one likes, he decides to rent a
he doesn't rent. He goes to a Winnebago dealership and says, I want to take this overnight and see if I fall in love with this Winnebago. Just cons the dealer.
Yeah, because he said, if I like this, our entire company will buy a bunch of these.
Yeah.
So just give it to me overnight, and they give him this giant luxury, 93 luxury RV with a Nintendo NES in it, a CTR TV, and a satellite dish bigger than this table, which just randomly disappeared in.
That was really great.
And a gun drawer. There's a gun drawer.
And a gun drawer. There was a gun drawer. Well, there was a drawer that he put a gun in.
I know, but I like the fact that it's a gun drawer in the RV because we're in the U.S. It's gun drawers.
Yeah, but the first guy to show up is his good buddy, Cuba Gooding Jr. Oh, we're buddies and we're hugging it out. And you used to be really cool. And then the guy nobody likes shows up. Here he is. And then this Firebird shows up, burning out, almost hits the RV, backs up.
Curb checks right
Curb
now.
check, and then backs up, and it's Stephen Dorff. And
looks like 15-year-old Stephen Dorff.
And we're not sure if wife doesn't like Stephen Dorff or the guy that brought the Winnebago at this point, but after a little while we realize Stephen Dorff's his brother.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, so he doesn't piss you off every time you guys get together?
He's my brother, and I invited him, okay?
Hey, Razor Man.
Emilio, you used to be way cooler.
You got married and had a kid, you suck. Which usually what happens.
That's the theme of this film. Now that you don't just fight random people anymore and get in trouble with the law, you suck.
Married life making you soft, Frank? I remember when your brother would have dumped that guy on his ass.
Which, can I point out, are you married with kids? You?
No.
You?
Am I?
Yeah.
I am not married.
Yeah.
I don't have kids.
I don't think any of us, so we're all really fucking cool.
We're all really cool.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
thought you were referring to a
we
show.
fight people every weekend because they don't let us into traffic. We get out of our cars and we beat them up.
Better watch out.
Yeah, especially this one.
Actually, she had me pinned up against my car with my arm behind my back just a minute ago. Yeah.
Sounds hot.
It was painful. Pay you in pain.
That's why they call it a payment.
Painment.
Payment.
It's pronounced painment.
Yep.
Yeah, hot. That's
How
what
is
you
that
said.
different than
Not
what I
in
said?
that way. 15-year-old Stephen Dorff shows up. Find out it's his brother.
15-year-old Stephen.
He looks like he's 15 in this.
He does.
He looks like Stephen Dorff
I love that
90210,
the
right?
kid in the first movie was 13, but this guy is 15.
He's 15. So Stephen Dorff shows up in diapers, and they all hug it out, and they decide to put aside their frustrations with each other and just go have fun in this Winnebago, and then immediately get stuck in traffic.
Yeah, but they were all happy because they were able to see the match on the TV.
And for some reason, turning off the TV made the car go faster.
Yeah, Mike's right. We should just settle in and... Bullshit. We're not gonna miss anything. Just shut that TV
Well, because Emilio Estevez wanted to say, let's just pull over, stop. We'll watch it on the TV. We've got satellite here. We'll watch it because we're not going to make it. And I don't know what Piven's character's name was, but he was like, no, fuck this. Turn the TV off. We're not watching it. We're getting to this. And then we're going to drive in reverse on the highway to get to the exit, and then we're going to get lost. Look at all the newspapers everywhere. My God. The ghetto reads the newspaper.
And just left the newspaper
Except for the one that was burning.
Where all of the apparently homeless people were that were legitimately really funny guys.
Yeah.
Like,
They
I'm
were just
gonna pull
playing a
this
show.
booze out and pretend it's a gun. And those homeless guys almost got shot.
Thank God they had a gun drawer.
Thank God they had a gun drawer. But very shortly after that, they're just driving, and Piven just callously, he can't help it, runs into a guy.
Splat.
And then they make him pull over, and they go back to check on the guy. Piven is freaking out because everybody's been drinking in this Winnebago. He doesn't want to go to jail, so he starts trying to dispose of all the alcohol evidence whilst...
Why?
Everybody else has an actual human heart and is trying to see if this guy is okay. And they bring him into the Winnebago with the intention of calling the police and or getting this guy to a hospital when they discover the dude was shot.
Jeremy Piven actually says he's going to call 911, call 911. They answer, and because he's scared, he hangs up and says,
911 emergency.
How long did they say it was gonna be? The phone's dead, man. There's no service in this shithole part of town.
Yeah. We got no reception.
No reception. No, yeah, I can't. The phone
in this
doesn't work.
neighborhood. Blames the neighborhood. Phone doesn't work. Throws the alcohol over a fence, but it sounds like it hits the fence and falls. That's what it sounded like. But it's off screen, so like.
Well, he already drank so much. How is he going to throw that properly?
Is he okay?
I bet he chugged some of the vodka before.
Yeah, he chugged it before the phone call. Yeah.
Can't let him know I've been drinking. Gotta throw all this alcohol away. But first, let me drink from this. I can't because I don't have my water bottle that was never here.
You can use the cheese bottle
Drink
as
the cheese,
as reference.
Oh, you actually did it. Oh, wow. String cheese.
Will Smith eating spaghetti.
We're gonna make an AI generated image of Richard eating string cheese or spray cheese.
Why hasn't anybody invented spray spaghetti? That'd be so good.
Don't give away $1 million ideas on this show. Keep them for yourself.
The first person that can invent tasty spray spaghetti gets $1 million from this guy.
Watermelon. Oh. And that's when they discover he has a bag full of money and a bullet hole in his stomach.
And they're like, Jesus, we gotta get out of here. They start driving out of here, and then out of nowhere, a car blindsides him. Bam! Drives them off the road, through some bollards, into an alleyway.
Wait, you missed something.
They first try to catch a police car that is driving around.
That's right. And they get on this PA thing just as advertising to everybody.
Shouting.
We picked somebody up who was shot, police officers. Stop!
Hey! Help! Police! Help! We got somebody shot! Hey!
There's lots of money here, and this guy got shot.
Yeah. And the cops just kept driving. They didn't care.
Couldn't hear him over the sound of a siren.
Well, I mean, usually if a cop is driving with a siren on, they're probably on a call, and they're not going to be stopping because some guy's yelling at them in a PA of an RV.
I believe that is how police work.
Yeah. But, yeah. So then we get back to where they get run off the road. They run through the pillars, go down an alleyway, and then they're trapped.
They're trapped in the alleyway. And then a few moments later, they're freaking out about being trapped in the alleyway. They can't get out. We talk about how they're going to get out, which is eventually something to discover, which is the sunroof. And they look through the sunroof, and they're looking around, and the satellite dish is missing.
Yeah.
Maybe it fell off when they crashed.
Yeah, from the things that didn't hit. Yes. Just the shock of being in the alleyway, the satellite dish was like,
but remember,
jumped off.
Before they popped their head out, the guy who was shot said, those are the guys who are trying to kill me. Mm-hmm. If you try to get out, they're just going to shoot you. Mm-hmm. So they're all nervous about trying to get, they don't know how to get out.
And moments later, somebody shoots out the back window and then reaches in, grabs that guy, and yoinks him out.
Through there and...
What up, Teddy? Playing a little hide and seek, huh?
And he puts a gun to 16-year-old Steven Dorff's head, and, don't be a tough guy.
It's because Steven aged a year between the beginning of this film and now.
Well, they went through a crash. You're going to age a year in a bad crash.
Mm-hmm. This way he had that one white hair.
And and in the next scene, he actually goes back to 15.
Because they filmed it out of order.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Back off, kid. You ain't got no balls.
So they pull the guy out. We find out that's the introduction of Dennis Leary, who's the head bad guy.
And he's got a lot to say. This guy took my money, you took my drugs, and you expect me to do business in this neighborhood after this? Doing Dennis Leary things.
I'm gonna buy 5 gallons of Vaseline, cover myself with it, walk down the street, reading Playboy magazine, and singing Yank Doodle Dandy.
All Dennis Leary. He shoots the guy. 16-year-old Steven Dorff loses it and screams.
Second rule, no witnesses.
Yes. When he sees them screaming and all that, so they go to kill him. They break out the windshield and run.
North Shore plates, too. Great. Just great. Oh, boys, rule number 2, no witnesses.
Oh, man. We forgot entirely about the earlier on. when they were stuck in traffic. The guy that was trying to, they were trying to get in front of a truck, and the truck like bumped into the Winnebago, and Steven Dorff actually gets out to fight the driver of the truck. Yeah, listening to Slayer. He gets out to fight the guy in the truck, and Cuba Gooding Jr. gets out and puts the guy in a wrist lock. And,
like Callie did to me earlier.
Again, really hot. Thought they were going to kiss. There was a moment there. There's some steam.
On the movie.
Yeah. In the movie. I'm just imagining it, with Callie fucking you up outside. And...
And nobody's butt was grabbed.
And nobody's butt was grabbed.
I'm surprised he didn't grab his butt because he's very emotionally distraught right now.
Richard was sticking his finger in anything he could find.
Pew pew.
I don't know if that carries on, but how many movies have we talked about you sticking your finger in bullet holes?
Two?
I think the big discussion was towards the end where the black guy gets shot.
Yeah, the Cuba Gooding.
Yeah, but wait, was it Demon Night where it started, where you started saying you put your finger in a bullet hole?
Just stick a finger in there. And Megan said, don't do that.
Right, so we've been going on about Richard loving putting his finger in holes.
Yeah.
Whatever hole he can find on someone.
If it's bleeding, you should just stick your finger in there.
Bleeding.
If it's bleeding, it can die.
Yeah.
Except when you stick a finger in.
Except when you stick your finger in.
That's it. If it's bleeding, we can kill. If it bleeds, we can kill it, and we can save it.
And we can save it.
It's like a cork.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what E.T. did.
He just stuck a finger in there. Yeah. And he's like, ow. And they edited out the part where Ellie was like screaming bloody murder because E.T.'s long, creepy fucking finger
glowing
was like an inch or two inside of him, cauterizing the wound.
I don't like that. He's an inch or two inside of him. I don't like that. I really don't like that.
Alien romance with a twist.
Too young.
Elliot.
Go home. It's just between us.
Show us on Drew Barrymore's doll where the bad alien touched you.
Oh, stop it. It hurts. No more finger poking.
We veered so far off of the movie.
Oh.
Because talking about E.T. molesting a child is more entertaining than this movie was.
No one was talking about E.T. molesting a child. We were talking about him heroically cauterizing Elliot's deep penetrating wound with his torch finger.
Sexual, I just said molesting.
With his glowing torch finger.
Poor boy was shot so many times.
He used all 5 fingers.
Oh, something. Okay,
it's
listen.
a good thing E.T.'s waist high.
Some people like 1 finger. Some people like 2. I like the minivan.
Okay.
I like the minivan.
Yeah, it's 2 in the front and 5 in the back.
Oh.
I'm going to keep that in. Just you on that one.
Because you were all so quiet and your hand was over your face. Oh.
And you thought we couldn't have that much fun on this movie.
It's because we're not talking about the movie.
Distraction! Distraction!
Just yell it and run.
Okay, Cuba Gooding Jr. gets angry because while he's holding him, Emilio Estevez comes and stops him.
Yeah, and he's
says,
like, you were a lot more
yeah.
fun.
He even told his brother, your brother would have laid this guy out a few years ago.
Yeah.
Your brother used to be a badass, and now he's married with kids.
Yeah, and then Steven Dorff feels vindicated, goes back inside the Winnebago.
But this is
and
when
then,
he was 15, because we haven't got to this.
Yeah, this is 15-year-old Steven Dorff feels vindicated in traffic before they get down into the hood. Gets back into the Winnebago, and Emilio Estevez is like, hey, Cuba Gooding Jr., I don't appreciate that. We talked about this. And he's like, you're right. My bad.
That sounds so grown up. Good.
That lasts for about 5 minutes.
How did I tell you? Remember what I said?
I know, I'm sorry.
Don't encourage him with that macho shit.
I'm sorry, Frank.
So they go and hide in the... Is that when they hide in the trains?
I
Yes,
think
they
so,
run
yeah.
and they hide in the trains, and it just turns out that there
being
are
homeless
some
again.
hobos on the train.
And they're getting more and more. It's like you see one through the shadow, and then
They're breeding.
another, and in the end, it's an entire train full of
They got
hobos.
wet. It's the gremlins.
Yeah.
They got wet.
Because when
And now-
hobos see new people, they get wet.
Yeah.
Moist.
E.T.
Moist.
Dennis Leary is coming along the trains doing his best impression of warriors come out and play.
Yep.
And the hobos are like, if you want us to stay quiet, you're going to start bribing us. You're going to give us stuff.
Seems to be amplified 20 or 30 times.
And so and that continues to escalate.
Including your used condoms.
Including your used condoms. They come up to Stephen Dorff. Stephen Dorff's having no part of it. Hobos are about to make some noise. Cuba Gooding Jr. comes in clutch and he's like, nah, I'll handle this. And like gives him some money. And then they get back to Stephen Dorff. Eventually, hobos aren't having any of it. And one of them says something wrong to one of them that
He saw the college jacket.
He gets upset because he doesn't like the jacket he's wearing, and he won't give him the jacket. He gets upset, and then he questions like, "You must have played too many games, and not been hit in the head or something too many times." And so he's like, "Oh, you're disrespecting me."
And then he starts flipping out, making a lot of
yeah.
noise.
You think you are coming down here wearing that jacket and calling me a liar? Because I'm a goddamn college bastard!
And then they open the door. Leary comes and opens the doors, and everyone scatters.
And they're all running away. Dennis Leary recognizes that college jacket and shoots a couple of times, bam, bam, and hits what we think is Cuba Gooding Jr., but it's not. It is the homeless man who took the jacket.
Yep.
This movie was a whole lot of and then. This was
Which worked with the first movie because it didn't take itself seriously, but with this one, it felt so run-on sentency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no structure.
Oh, and on the hobo, that's where he found Emilio Estevez's wallet.
Oh yeah.
Because he had to give up his wallet
He
with all the
handed
stuff
him
in
the
it.
entire wallet instead of
And he's
taking
like,
money
"Ooh,
out.
leather! I've never seen
because
priceless, precious leather
It
before."
was like Lord of the Rings, like with the ring when they got that leather.
A wallet.
Leather.
Here, take what's in it.
Probably skip because a lot of the and then.
They
end
end
up in the women's house.
They go into an apartment complex. It kind of reminded me of a project, right?
Yeah,
like the Rent Fix project, and
Which also happened in the Warriors.
Mm-hmm. And they convinced a woman they just wanted to use her phone. She had a baseball bat. She wasn't taking their shit, but like,
Hi, I promise this is not about rape.
after a few minutes, they seemed like reasonable people. She let them come into her house, use the phone.
I believe us, we're telling the truth. We just want to use your phone.
Ended up being kind of a mistake because Dennis Leary's crew comes in there and they just start shooting through people's doors.
They probably get a kickback from the door company. Now they know all their doors.
They get a kickback from the door company.
Because they kicked in the doors.
Yeah, he's getting kicked
They're
back.
just blowing off every door, and they're selling a lot of doors after this.
Selling a lot of doors in the project.
That's a great racket.
Organized crime. Nobody talks about the doors in organized crime.
And doors, if you bought a door, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
Especially good front doors with locks. That's good money.
Let's talk more about doors.
Yes.
Watermelons.
And then on that roof, there is a way the kids use to get from one roof to another, which is an extension ladder with some wood across the top, like duct taped to another extension ladder, and like just across, and it looks sketch as hell.
Completely legitimate.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
kids.
But as he's going across, the ladder starts to fail. Emilio barely gets across. Then Piven.
Nope. Wait. While he's halfway across is when they start shooting.
Yeah.
They start shooting, and Cuba's shooting back to protect him. While they're gunfighting, instead of just shooting Emilio, who's laying across the ladder, they're just shooting at.
Well, it wasn't even that involved with a gunfight. That was actually pretty believable because Cuba Gooding saw Leary come up to the edge, and he just popped 3 shots off real quick. Just bam, bam, bam.
Yep.
Leary and everybody took cover right then, which was the smart thing to do.
Right, because even when they drop down, they're like, oh, they got guns now.
Don't believe these guys got guns, man.
Yeah, too easy these days.
It's like,
They got guns out. And they're actually kind of chill about it. They're like, this is lame, but let's have fun with it.
Check it out.
Frank! Nice move.
I'm a businessman.
All right.
I'm going to negotiate my way out of this.
Yeah. I got these guys right where I want them.
Frank, come on!
I'm the Razor Man, remember?
And they negotiate. And it's a really cool scene where they negotiate.
Because Leary leads him on as if like this is actually
gonna work,
legitimate. To where Cuba's like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
You know, I think we can cut a deal here.
Oh, man. Yeah. That's beautiful. There you have it.
Can't believe this. He's doing it.
He said, "Oh, I'm going to get down to the floor in one piece."
I'm getting off this roof in one piece.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to get down in one piece. And it's like, oh, you're getting down in one piece. Rah! Throws him off. Yeah.
And then Cuba loses his shit and just runs out and starts shooting.
Yeah, runs out, starts shooting. Uses
he gets the one guy in the shoulder.
All of his bullets.
Gets the one guy in the gets Pearl Jam in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam.
About which he had feelings.
But he's still alive.
Yeah. And then he goes in the sewer with a gunshot.
The melody of the
sewer
life.
with a gunshot in the shoulder. That was.
Do you think his name was Jeremy?
So.
Hello, ladies.
Well, it's a little chicken shit.
And then Leary comes down and is like, "Hi, girls," and they're like, "Ah!" and they run and they're like, shooting down the hole.
Sound bites from this whole recap.
Yep.
Hi, girls.
Well, it's a little chicken shit.
Pop, 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 pop. So they're running through the sewers.
We watch each other's backs, huh?
And then Emilio Estevez is like, "I've got my wood."
His hockey
It
stick?
had a spike.
It wasn't a hockey stick. It was a branch.
I know,
Like
but he's a hockey coach.
He was, and that's
Later.
that later he rallies them by chanting ducks, but that hasn't happened
Quack, 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 quack. Not ducks, the quack.
Ducks, ducks, ducks.
Oh, my bad.
They quack.
I haven't seen that movie in so many years.
Nor have I.
I've never seen it.
It's a movie about a bunch of quackheads. Not interested.
Nice.
You're talking about cocaine all night long. I can't talk about quack.
No.
But the Coke movie's over.
Now we're in the quack.
No, we're not watching the Quack movie. There's no Quack in this.
Basically, 15-year-old Stephen Dorff chickens out because he sees it and he could save him, but he's
doesn't.
too scared.
And then Emilio comes in, blah, and gets him, and you're like, "Oh, this is the man of action that they've been talking
It's
about."
the hero from the last movie.
Yeah, he shows up and he's like, "Yeah, I fought trucks," and
I fought
pushes the guy up against the wall. Oh no, man! Yeah, I fought trucks.
Oh wait, so Emilio jumps on him,
And then he jumps Pearl
yeah.
Jam because it's Pearl Jam that came in.
Oh, was it
With
Jeremy?
it was Pearl Jam.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
He spoke in class today.
He's still alive, too.
Yeah. Questionable to be down in the sewer with a gunshot.
What was the water coming into the sewer? Was it flowing evenly?
Yeah.
Pearl Jam?
More Pearl Jam songs.
Pearl
yeah,
Jam
yeah.
reference.
I see.
I don't get the mind.
I know.
You're so mean to us. This is ageism, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're the young ones, we don't get your references.
I mean, I get it. I liked it. Pearl Jam is a fantastic band.
You're old too. You're the two old ones ageising us.
So you
young
are the
ones.
ageist.
No,
Because you're insulting us for being your elders.
Yeah.
You're the one.
I know.
Yeah, but he says to Cuba, "Oh, you don't dare it," and he's like,
Yeah, and then Cuba just shoots him in the gut, like
Oh,
a
yeah.
bad gut wound, and he's like, this isn't gonna kill. Oh fuck, I'm dead.
You did it. You shooted him right in the organ.
He shot him in the gut. That's a bad way to go.
The animal within.
"Can we stop talking about Pearl Jam songs?"
No. Well, now Pearl Jam's dead.
We can because Pearl Jam is dead.
Yeah,
Okay,
Pearl
good.
died, so we can talk about.
And so they vacate the sewers. Cuba's like, "We're gonna stay here and fight." And it's like, "No, let's get the fuck out of Dodge." So they leave.
Which tells a lot about his character, because he wasn't like, oh my god, I just killed a man. He's like, I want to kill more.
I said we stay down here and we finish him. You know, things are a little different now, huh?
And then this is when Emilio starts calling him out. He's a couple of times, and it gets more and more aggressive. He's like, "Do you want to live through this or not? Like, let's get out of this alive." And so
wait, no, we messed up. It wasn't Pearl Jam who fought him. It was the blonde guy.
Oh,
because
was the
Dennis Leary
blonde
kills
guy.
Pearl Jam.
It was the blonde guy who fought him. It was Dollar Store Dennis Leary that died down here.
Yeah. It was not Dennis Leary who fought him.
Yeah, and it wasn't Pearl Jam that fought him.
No, but the blonde guy is not Dennis Leary.
I
'cause
thought
he's
we were
not
talking about the blonde guy.
Yeah, no, the blonde guy
Don't know what Pearl Jam
fights him. Cuba kills him.
Yeah.
Then while they're down there, Pearl
the guy
Jam comes
got
in, and Dennis Leary kills
thought
Pearl
that was-
Jam.
This is great. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't sign on for this.
Yeah, because Pearl Jam is like,
I don't want to be here. You fucked up. We shouldn't be doing this.
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
didn't
Yeah.
sign up for this. So he shoots him. The
No, he
Edge
drowns him.
is really upset.
Doesn't he drown him?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
He knocks the gun out of his head and drowns him. And he's easy to drown because he was shot. And he's talking shit while the guy is drowning.
Yep. Because it's Dennis Leary. That's all he does is talk shit. Because he's an asshole.
And the Edge is looking at him like, ooh.
Everlast.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting up.
And what we have learned from this movie is sometimes it's best to just mind your own business.
Well, let's try and wake him up.
Trying to force the police to come there by smashing the window.
Absolutely, they are.
And then the security guards are coming.
And then the security guards hold him up.
Yep.
And they're all happy about it.
Uh-oh, Frank. I'm calling the cops.
Hey, that's 911, buddy. Tell them to holler out.
Wrongfully so.
Yep. Security guards are like, oh, we found the bad guys.
Ooh, spread what?
Cuba Gooding kind of looks back, sees
Everlast shooting the
pointing at the security guard. He dives out of the way. The security guard is like, "Oh, I'm gonna turn around and he gets shot by Everlast."
Yep.
Hey, you fucking scumbag! I'm out here!
Distraction!
Just yell it and run.
Runs through the mall, getting Dennis Leary to follow him, and they have this knockdown, drag out, cat and mouse fight. Like it is very cat and mouse with some scrapping, and then back to cat and mouse.
Oh yeah, because he goes back to saying he wants to fuck his wife.
Oh yeah.
Again.
You know, Frank, after I kill you, I think I'm gonna pay a little visit on that wife of yours.
He keeps tormenting him because basically Dennis Leary's almost got him beat, and he's like, you know what? After I kill you, I'm gonna go meet your wife and your daughter.
And it's creepy.
Yeah, and that gives the motivation for Emilio to muster up the strength to fight back, and he knocks him.
And he really does.
Yeah, he fights him, knocks him out. Oh, but remember at the end, he hits him, and he's going to fall over the railing, and he's falling. And while he's falling, he's like, "For God's sakes, help me!" And Emilio reaches out to grab him.
I knew you'd do the right thing.
And I knew you'd do the right thing. And then he had a one-liner. I don't remember what the one-liner was. And then let him go. And so he falls down, dies.
You're on your own, pal.
He gets down there. Then the cop shows up, and we get that little moment of scare where it looks like the cop may even kill Emilio.
Yeah.
And then the other cop shows up. No, he's not lying. It looks like a
war zone
or
in here
something.
or something.
Yeah, out here.
I got tickets to the Bears game next week.
Well, you have a good time.
Wait, I got seats on the 50-yard line.
You're fucking bleeding to death. You've been shot in the stomach. Let the paramedics. The paramedics should have been like, stop fucking talking to each other. We're gonna rush him out.
Yeah.
But they're like, we're gonna trot along and let you guys bullshit. Let him bleed out. No problem. Gunshot wounds are nothing.
Nobody even puts a finger in there.
Yeah. I mean, at least Emilio should be walking by like, I'll go to the game with you tomorrow. Hey, no problem.
No thanks, Frank. I'm too young for this shit.
Yeah,
More
I'm too young
realistic.
for this.
Yeah, I'm too young for this shit, which is a throwback to Lethal Weapon, of course, but it's just kind of funny that he's just...
It's like a throw left to Lethal Weapon, right?
I feel like there's no finality to there's no character growth.
Because right after that, the credits go. Like, there's just, oh no, the last line, the cop, hey, whatever his name was, Emilio, your wife's here. Credits.
Yeah. We found your wallet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But how did his wife get there so fast?
Mr. Wyatt, your wife's outside.
So we brought up the reason I picked this was mostly the soundtrack. I do like the soundtrack, and I do suggest checking out the soundtrack. But I guess we'll wrap this up because we mentioned the credits, so we're done with the movie.
I don't like the way you were looking at my wife, Dennis Leary.
I think it's a fun watch. Is it a must-see? No. But if you're sitting at home one day and Amazon or whatever, you're watching Netflix and it pops up, to me, it's worth a check out. But to go out of your way, to pay $4.99, no, I paid $2.99 from it, sure. A lot better than what I paid for that one. But, so, I still enjoy it. I think it's fun. Check out the soundtrack. The soundtrack's great. We'll listen to it on the way home.
Okay. I wouldn't watch it again, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. If someone would feel like a kind of this movie, I would recommend The Warriors.
Cling, cling, cling.
Warriors, come out and play!
Cling, cling, cling.
All right.
I think the only... okay, first of all, there was a lot of great acting in this movie. There were a lot of great sound effects in this movie. Pop, 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 pop.
Cinematography is good.
The cinematography was great. There were some really neat art shots, like Dennis Leary's mouth, which I don't think fit in the movie, but it was still a great shot.
The bioptic lens shots. They did a few of those towards the end. Yep.
Really, really good shots. Beautifully shot. And beautifully, whoever did the storyboards, this movie was laid out really well.
The lighting too was great.
The lighting was fantastic. The choices, the location scouting was great. This had all of the tools in place for this to be a fantastic movie, but the story just didn't really take it anywhere. The actors didn't really have any great dialogue, and this plot was extremely almost non-existent. It was just a slice of life on this night. This bad thing happened to these people, and this is how they got through it. And so, as a movie, would I recommend it? No. But if a buddy of mine wanted to direct some stuff, would I recommend it? Yeah.
Or cinematographer.
Or an actor, because there's a lot to be learned in this. This is how an actor can just chew up the shitty dialogue that they have and deliver something really great.
I always wanted a fucking Italian girl, Frank.
Would you watch it again?
Only if we were drinking and there was a drinking game associated with it.
For study reasons.
I think you want to drink on every movie we've watched.
No, that's not true. That's not true, because I will watch Blind Fury any day of the week.
I think you just want a reason to drink.
I would probably not watch it again. I feel like I needed to watch this one on a day that I was not just so exhausted, because I spent the latter half of the movie just focusing on staying awake.
Hey, insert cuts of her nodding off.
Literally, there's probably some. I think because there was, without that plot structure, there's nothing that keeps you hooked to it. Because, there's only so much and then that you can take before you're like, okay, why? There's no rooting for them. There's no reason to support them in this endeavor.
Other than they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
But, would you watch it again?
Nope.
No.
Wouldn't recommend it either.
Mr. Wyatt, your wife's outside.
And no dissing Emilio Estevez because he is a national treasure.
I'm trying to eliminate the glare so that they're actually visible from that camera.
There's 3 cameras.
Right, but you end up doing this camera a lot. And it's just see, very, very visible. From here, cool. Very, very visible from there, cool. Very, very visible from there.
Are all the cameras being cooperative today?
They're doing Young Guns, but it's going to be called Guns. I thought Not So Young Guns would be a good title, but they're doing another Young Guns movie.
Old Guns?
Just Not So Young Guns.
Geriatric Guns.
It's insulting. Not So Young Guns sounds more...
Middle-aged guns.
Middle-aged guns.
God, I didn't think about that. That's even better.
Senile guns.
Me too.
Senile guns.